G'day. We have reached 22nd of June 2026. My name is George. Welcome to today's episode of Message of Hope. 21st last night, that means the winter solstice had passed, so we should be getting more daylight in these videos. Okay, well, I guess if you're in Australia, you would know there's a frozen yogurt chain in Australia called Yochi. Now, there's a map where its stores are located. Mainly, they discovered it's in Manly, Double Bay, Elsternwick, Windsor, and a whole bunch of places, of course, between New South Wales and Victoria. So, one of the researchers basically had this conclusion that basically you can draw a wealth map of the city without opening a single spreadsheet. The conclusion was it's in the Sydney's east as well as in the Melbourne's east. Rarely do you see these shops in the west. Interesting, isn't it? I want to be upfront about something before this goes any further though. That's a fun fact. The one I just talked about, the Yochi map. It's not proof of anything beyond itself, please. Okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't do property predictions, things like that. Just telling you as it is. I also want to tell you about 2021, 2022 roughly, right? That's a nice car going past. Now, this is the period when NFTs were everywhere. You just can't miss it in the media, in a newspaper, social media, you name it, right? Now, I'll be the first to admit, wow, there's a lot of cars coming through. Now, I didn't understand the concept of NFT. That's not hard to believe, right? I'm a simple person. Right. I didn't understand how pixelated apes, monkeys, selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars and somehow discounted as investing now. That's bonkers to me. Right? But I did, because out of my curiosity, I did pay for a course. It wasn't terribly expensive, it was under $100 from someone online, who I followed a little bit. And he claimed that he knew how it all worked. Even after the course, I didn't have the full confidence in myself to get involved. So I never put a cent into an actual NFT or created one. Looking back, perhaps that $100 saved me a lot more than it cost me, because I just didn't know at that time what NFT was all about. I think Jesus said something once that wasn't about money at all. It was about belonging to Him. So have a listen. You find it in John chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Sheep referring to true disciples of Christ. That'll be you and me, right? He's talking about salvation there, of course, about knowing the good shepherd's voice over every other voice calling across the field. But there's something underneath that which reaches wider than salvation, I think. Because the sheep that knows one voice can tell when a stranger is calling. Makes sense, correct? Not because it studied the stranger, but because it just knows the shepherd, that the relationship is there. So, how do you tell the difference between the Yochi and the next scheme promising to do for your bank account what it did for nobody? Really good question. And I used to think it was about being clever enough to spot the catch, the trend. But someone, I think, said in the past, no, it's simpler than that. Yochi isn't asking you for anything. It's just open where the money already was. Now, a scheme like the one where to talk about your needs, your money, moving before you've had time to ask a single honest question, that's what I'm referring to. And that's the difference. So it's not about the size of the promise, but rather the speed of the asking. By the way, if today's helping you think this through, I genuinely hope you find good value. You'll join me again tomorrow by subscribing to the channel, giving a thumbs up video, and please do share this to people who's going to benefit from these videos and the knowledge. All right. Well, about 10 years ago, I went through a Christian business workshop, and there was one of the participant. Nobody can forget because he was a comedy writer who paid the bills working as a security guard as well. Okay, a likable guy, I thought. Well, he told people anyway. He got into Bitcoin probably early in developing stages, I think. And when he took off, he cashed out and bought a BMW. Outright, no loan involved. Now, I have no idea what happened to the man after that. Haven't spoken to him in years. I mean, I can't even remember his name anymore. I just remember his story, right? So I can't tell you whether the rest of his story went as well as that one moment did. I love to tell you it did, I just don't know. So I don't want to fabricate stories. Speaking of story, here's a story I do know the ending of. A woman called Dr. Ruja Inatova. Now, she built a cryptocurrency, allegedly built anyway. It's called OneCoin. Those of you sharp enough and remember history, you remember what I'm going to say. Now, by some counts, millions of people believed in it enough to invest. Some even people sold their house, can you believe it? And gave their life savings to this OneCoin thing. Well, like any scammers out there, let's go the other direction. She disappeared in 2017, and she's been on the FBI's most wanted list ever since. Not surprising. Up to this date, nobody knows where she is. Her brother, Constantine, took over when she left, disappeared, I should say, while he ran what was left of it after she vanished. He was eventually arrested when trying to leave the country. He pleaded guilty, he cooperated with prosecutors, and was sentenced to the time he already served. In 2024, he walked out of the prison. So the Bitcoin guy might have a happy ending. The one who got the BMW. I genuinely don't know, But for anyone who put their house into OneCoin, I suspect the ending is already written. It's just not the one they were promised, though. My friends, the next trend is already on its way, I'm sure, right? It might be the next Yochi. It's harmless, might be even useful. It might be the next OneCoin, God forbid. And you won't have time in that moment to start learning whose voice you trust. That has to be already be built, right? You've got to listen to the voice of God through the Bible. So when's the last time you open your Bible on a day, nothing forcing you to? I really hope it's a daily habit you do. Right? I have that discipline. Thank God I've got that. I'll be so lost. Again, the verse, my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. That sheep wasn't smarter than the others. No, it's just spent more ordinary days listening before the stranger ever called out. I don't know how the BMW story ends. I know exactly how the OneCoin story ends though. So whose voice were you listening to before you click the buy button? And that's today's message of hope. Thanks for being with me. You look after yourself. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.